welcome to the Late Night Snacking Podcast.
We're your hosts, Devin and Anita. And this is our weekly podcast where we grab a blanket and some snacks and talk about all things relationships, growing pains, and navigating through, honestly, life itself.
We hope our experiences encourage others to grow to become the best versions of themselves, and for their relationships. Grab a snack and let's go. What is up, snackers?
Here we are again.
Welcome back to the pod.
On a beautiful Wednesday evening. A late night snacking podcast. The most honest podcast.
Yes, it is.
The most open podcast. And the most wholesome podcast in the world.
And that's the truth. Period. So, welcome back to the pod. We are back. Last week we had our episode with Jamie. Transparently, y'all are running that up right now. So
yeah, that was a good one too, though.
Yeah,
it was lit.
That was a good one. I think that is kind of a hot topic nowadays. Like, how do we see dating? How are people dating nowadays? Like, so I'm glad y'all enjoyed that. Keep running it up. If you haven't tuned in, it's on our channel. It's the last one. It's called What's with Dating Nowadays.
Yeah, What's with Dating.
So make sure you tune into that. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know why it feels like we haven't had just me and you podcast in a minute. But
yeah, it's been a little while.
I think it's because we had Jamie last week, and then the week before we did our vlog. So it has been a couple weeks since we've been together on the pod. So I'm happy to be back. Yeah, what's been going on? A whole lot of for real. What have we started?
Venue shopping.
Yeah. Ooh, y'all.
For the wedding.
For the wedding. Wedding tings are in. Yeah, that's pretty much. If you're on YouTube, the gesture Devin is making is rubbing his hands together because, boy.
Yeah, it's.
These pockets. It's like we got holes in them and the change is just falling through.
Can't hold on to $1.
It is expensive. For sure.
Should we tell them about the... Well, I guess it's kind of too soon to let them know about the new addition to the family.
I mean, cat's out the bag now, and it surely is not a cat. So, let them know.
No, guys, we're not pregnant. Relax.
Oh, heck no.
Relax.
Wait, I just realized that build-up probably made
It did.
I'm sorry, y'all.
But
my mom about to come on here and beat my ass if that was the case. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead.
Oh, I know they were probably like, oh, my God.
No,
oh, my God.
I didn't even think about that. We're not. But go ahead.
Nah. We're getting a dog.
So we are getting a baby in a sense, just like a fur baby. So our son is here in the world, and he is
alive and well.
He is alive and well, chunky, fighting his brothers and sisters to get to the breast milk. He's not playing games. But yeah, so we're really excited. We'll reveal his name when we
Details
show him to the
come.
world. Yeah, but it is in progress. Son is alive and well, and he will be with us in a few months. So Stay tuned with that. But yes, we are adding a little doggy to the fam. So that'll be exciting. Right. But yeah, so wow,
events.
Forgot about that. Plug them in because we are getting some stuff together. Well, you are, and I want you to let everybody know what you got going on.
February 24th. It's a Friday.
Yes.
We at Brass Monkey.
That's this Friday, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going up in Greenville, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Brass Monkey. Come have a good time. You know, I'll be out there. Some of the gang will be out there. And, you know, Thomas, the gang. We'll be out there doing what we do, how we always do it.
That's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? Then Saturday, we have another party. We'll be back at On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Anderson, South Carolina. So I think it's known as Hawthorne's On the Rocks now.
Yes.
So that's where we'll be at on Saturday, getting lit a little bit again. So come see me. Me in Greenville, me in Anderson, Friday and Saturday. Hanging out with the guys. Like I said, just doing what we do.
How we always do.
So come catch the vibes, man. I got the vibes. Just bring yourselves.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Ladies free till 11:30. You just come see me. Come see me.
So yeah, come catch us in Greenville and Anderson this weekend. It'll be a good time. We'll be out there getting lit, having fun. And yeah, a lot of this too, we thoroughly enjoy putting on events, and these two are Devin specifically, so he also enjoys putting on events and stuff like that. But a lot of it too is like to create a community. Like we would love to start bringing events like this to like Charlotte and like Columbia and areas that we are familiar with outside of Greenville and Anderson. So if that is something y'all are interested in, or y'all know people that have venues and stuff like that we could throw something in, like let us know, because we want to hang out with y'all and create a community with you guys. So yeah, honestly, if y'all know people, let us know.
Just to be brutally honest, we're trying to do like some live podcast shows.
Yeah.
In some spaces, Charlotte, Greenville, wherever, you know what I'm saying, Clemson.
Yeah.
We'd like to sit down live and, chat with you guys face to face versus like
through
social media and
YouTube.
Stuff. We need more face to face interaction.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let us know. Like I said, if y'all know people that have venues that do things like that would allow us to have live podcasts and stuff like that, let us know. Yep. We're doing our own research as well. But it's always good if y'all know people to help plug us in. So yeah, come hang out with us. We want to see y'all. Right. So yeah.
You gotta get into the snacks, man.
Oh, okay. We chatting too long. We
are. Apologies, guys. Apologies.
We had a lot to catch up on. We
got a lot going on. A lot of shaking and jiving.
Alrighty, let's get into the snacks. What's on the table?
So I have Simply Nature. Acai bowl, non-GMO.
Ooh.
Some mangoes and some pineapples in there with a little granola, a little bit of honey. Something very healthy. Yeah, real slight.
So Aldi, of course. Where else? Aldi has
purchased
these
at
Aldi. Yeah, they have these little like pre-made bowls. So they come frozen, so you can leave them in the freezer. But on the top, it's like kind of like how Chobani yogurt is, where they have the contents on one side and the actual yogurt on the other. Theirs the same. They have in the lid is the granola, and then at the bottom's the acai part, and you can like combine everything. So it's real cute. It's good too. So, go get y'all a little acai bowl pre-made from Aldi.
For sure. He's hitting. Shout out to Aldi.
Shout out to Aldi, shout out to Aldi, shout out to Aldi. So me, I went a little crazy today. No snack. We are sipping on some wine. It's been a long day, y'all.
What's with you?
Well, I'll tell you what's with me. So I've been up. I didn't mean to come. That's not kind of what it is.
Sass.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that?
It's been a long day, y'all. But no, I've been up since like 7:30 this morning. Couldn't sleep. I've been doing laundry. I made breakfast. I drove to Greenville. We did the venue tour. We came back.
Meal prep.
I meal prepped for like 3 hours, and we set all this up to chat now. So your girl is tired.
When I mean to tell you, that omelet this morning.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were about to say.
That omelet this morning. These hands, y'all see this? Gifted. With the toast, with the apple butter.
Oh, yeah.
And the bowl of fruit on the side. Y'all. Look. That's why she got it.
I'm weak.
That's why she got it.
So, it's been a long day, but yes, the secret to a good omelet is definitely Munster cheese. Just letting y'all know.
I wouldn't have told him nothing.
All that American cheese, Colby Jack stuff, you gotta throw it to the side. I'm sorry.
Grow up.
Get with the elite cheese. Munster.
Oh. I'm gonna answer. My dad's calling. Hello? Yeah. We're actually doing the podcast right now. So when you watch on Wednesday, you'll see me talking to you on the phone. All right.
Shout out to Pops.
Hey, shout out to my Pops, man.
Cool. So yes, I'm winding down with some wine, to say the least. So got some Moscato in the cup for my girlies that like it sweet. And yeah, we gonna get it rocking. Are you ready?
Just wine. No saltine crackers, no cheese, no.
No, it is a need. I ate dinner already, you know. We
did.
Yeah, my tummy's feeling good, so just, you know, a little glass of wine. Cheers. Oh. Not my company name. Cheers.
Fired.
Literally come in tomorrow morning and talk about some. Yeah, you gotta go.
Go ahead and log off for me.
Oh, wait. All right. Are we ready to hop into unpack the snack?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so we liked this one because it's very on par for what's going on in our lives right now. So, reader or person who sent this in, Snacker, says, it's been on my mind for a minute now. So, you know, in this generation of dating / talking to people, it's so effed up now. I want to know, how do y'all feel about marriage in this generation? Like, what is the purpose of marriage now? So this one's very fitting, obviously. Just came back from a wedding venue tour. So we're very much in the nitty gritty of wedding planning and being married next year and stuff like that. So I thought this was a good one to kind of chat about, because I do think a lot of people our age are not... They're in a rush to get married or don't want to get married at all. So I guess we can kind of talk about what we think of this generation of marriage and maybe like how we feel about it and stuff like that. So, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah. So personally, I think that people marry for different reasons other than what I think marriage was intended to be for. Now, rather that be to, for the sake of living with somebody, or if you have a child on the way with them, you know, and you kind of feel like the right thing to do is to get married.
Like a logical next step type thing.
Yeah.
People do that a lot, yeah.
So there's a lot of different reasons why people get married. Like, now what I'll say from my perspective as a guy who is getting married, I personally do not believe you have to be married to somebody in order to spend the rest of your life with them or love them or whatever. Because, I mean, we've seen couples before who are married and really don't like each other for real.
Yeah.
So because you're married to someone doesn't mean that you love them or you like them or any of that. Essentially, I kind of think it's a title thing.
Like a boyfriend, girlfriend,
husband,
wife.
It's like a husband, wife. It's more of a title game, honestly, to me. But I'm not saying I'm against getting married, because I am getting married. She's not forcing me to do this. No one's it's because I want to do it. It's because I want to do it. But you know, I just, you know, personally, I don't feel like, you know, that's a thing that has to happen. Yeah. In order for two people to, you know, love each other and want to spend the rest of your life together.
So do you think that people nowadays feel like that's an outdated thing? Like getting married?
Yeah. I will say I don't think there's a...
Or not outdated, but like feel like it's a more traditional route.
Right.
Versus like a modern
and I don't think
way.
people's quick to get married now.
I don't think so either.
People aren't really rushing to do that.
I think last episode is a great example of why people don't want to get married nowadays. I truly think that people our age are struggling with... Oh, I thought you got acai on your shirt. I was really nervous for you because that's a really nice new shirt.
Hey, shout out to LRG.
Yeah, it's a really nice shirt for real. But yeah, I think people nowadays are having a hard time dating and then seeing like, okay, well, if these are my options, then there's no reason for me to get married because these aren't the type of people I see as like my life partner.
Right.
I think part of it is that. And I think people who are maybe in a relationship feel like the commitment is too much. Like there's too much at stake that like if this marriage doesn't work, I could lose so much. Like myself, my finances, a partner who I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. If we have kids together now, I might have to share custody with like kids. Like people see that part that there's so much to lose and like lose sight of all the things that you gain out of being married to somebody. So I think people see that and they get scared of that part, which like I could see that, you know what I mean? Like there is,
but I mean, in which like marriage shouldn't feel like a risk.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't feel like you're doing like some death-defying stunt.
Yeah.
When you get married, I don't think you should feel that way because, well, I'm not gonna say if you do, then you might be a problem. But I won't go that far to say that. But I mean, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't feel like taking a risk.
Yeah, and I think so. Maybe we could segue to like what we think about it because I think that was the second part is like what is the purpose of marriage now? I guess that's like how do we look at it? I don't know. To me, like
I think it's a form of unification.
I think so too.
Really,
I think so too. Like I agree with your first point that like it is a very traditional way to be like not like having a claim on somebody, but like it is a title thing. Like we talked about it on one episode how like women feel like, oh, I'm a wife now, and like some men feel like, oh, I'm a husband now, like now I have to straighten up. Like it does feel like a title thing sometimes, and like people can get lost in that, and I would encourage people to not get lost in that because that's not what it's about. But like
not at all. I
agree with you that to me it is a unification thing. Like when they say like, oh, tying the knot and stuff like that, like that it's a cute saying, but like it really is like you're tightening something that was already there, but now we're like it's up and stuck, right? Like it's stuck.
Like the top tier of companionship.
Yeah, and commitment. Like
premium level.
To me, it's the commitment. Like the things you say to your partner in your vows is not something that you should take lightly. Like you were telling somebody, like for rich or for poor, if we're broke out on the street, I'm still going to love you and we're going to get through this together, right? Like when you're not and when you don't say those things to each other, like I could leave you at any point. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and some people don't see it that way, but I'm just talking about like how I see it. And like, if I'm saying those words to you, then like, I mean that. And I'm saying it to you in front of somebody who is, you know, blessing us, like is nothing to play with. Right. So like, to me, it's just like a serious form of commitment. Me saying that like, I am down to do life with you, and I'm telling you in front of all these people that like I'm not going anywhere. Right. You know what I mean? So and not everybody sees it that way, and just like you said, people get married for different reasons. People look at marriage different ways, but that's how I see it, and I think that's something that's getting lost in the mix nowadays. But I think I also see it like that because I've talked about my parents on this show before. We've had them on the show before. Lovely mom. You guys have heard her speak on the show before. But I've always seen a strong, solid partnership marriage growing up, like one that did not waver. And like that is something that I've always been like, that is marriage to me, and that is what I want to have. So I could see that other than people having bad dating lives or thinking marriage is too much of a commitment, maybe they just didn't see a good example of what a marriage is and thinks there's no point in it.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything to see. It's like sometimes men that don't grow up to be good boyfriends or good dads or whatever because they don't have a strong male figure in their life.
Right.
It's the same concept. Like if you don't have anything to base off of, then of course you're going to think really nothing of it because you don't have anything to go off of. So I think that's why I feel so strongly towards it, is like I've always seen a positive example of like a strong, healthy marriage, and like that's what I strive to have. But I think that's why I look at it in a positive light. So, but yeah, I think there's a lot of good purpose in marriage. I think it's a good way to combine you and your partner and make the bond stronger and create a lifetime commitment with this person. Like, ain't nobody else. Just you. You and me.
That's it.
That's it. But cool. Any other thoughts on that? I thought that was a really good question.
Yeah. Shout out to you.
Yeah. You know who you are. So, cool. So what are we, or are you ready to hop into the topic? Are you good to go? Okay.
Let's do it.
What are we chatting about tonight? Or do you want me to take it away?
Yeah. Go for it. I'm trying to get myself together right now.
Okay, period. Go ahead. Do what you gotta do. So we have this thing called Twitter hot takes. And we'll call it that for now until we find a better name for it, because not all of them are actually hot takes. But y'all know that people go on Twitter to either like cancel somebody, make fun of somebody, or give their 2 cents on something, right?
Like a donkey of the day type thing.
What?
Like a donkey of the day type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like you'll always know who's being canceled in the world if you just hop on Twitter and like somebody's getting canceled that day. Somebody's getting made fun of that day. So we're calling it Twitter hot takes for now, but that's not what we'll always keep it as, because it's not always hot takes.
Right.
But we found a thread of this. I don't know if she's like a holistic doctor or like a therapist or something, but somebody who's like very mindful. And she was pretty much talking about how like your brain works in triggered scenaриos, and like how sometimes situations, it's not the situation you're getting upset with. It's like something triggered you and you're creating a narrative around it. So we can just kind of call it like triggers, I guess, and just kind of go into like what the thread was talking about. So, do you want to read the first part of the thread?
Yeah, it says, when you're triggered over the dirty dishes in the sink, it's not really about the dishes. It's about... When we're triggered, our internal world is reacting not just to the event, but to the meaning we project onto the event. We're reacting not just to the event, but also to the meaning or narrative we subconsciously create.
Gotcha. So I liked this because I feel like the dishes is a good one, because I
that's
know
a pretty common thing.
That's a pretty common one, right? Like a household chore or something. Oh, you didn't pick up your clothes, you didn't pick up after yourself, you didn't do the dishes, you didn't cook dinner, whatever, right? Like a task.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times what she's saying is it's not the actual task that you're upset with, it's like the narrative that your mind is creating. So, for example, to kind of dig into like the dishes one, come home, dishes are in the sink, your partner's on the couch watching Netflix or whatever. You are like furious, right? So like, why do you feel that way? Is it because of the dishes? But it's not really.
Yeah.
So she's saying like a narrative is created in your mind saying like, oh, they didn't consider my feelings, they don't care about me, like what I ask them to do is not important to them. Like, they obviously don't care what I have to say. I'm invisible to this person because it's like when I talk and I ask for something, it doesn't get done, right? So your brain immediately goes to those narratives, and that is what's making you upset. That's that pent up like anger that's boiling inside of you. It's not
even about like,
it's not because the task isn't done, right? It's not really because your partner's sitting on the couch. It's like those two things are happening simultaneously. Your partner's on the couch and the dishes aren't done. Your brain is like, all right, let's create a story about what's going on right now. Your partner's
You've been here all day.
Yeah.
And you ain't washed dishes.
Yeah. And
you waited for me to come home, and so now you expect me to do it.
Mm-hmm. You expect me to do it. You don't care about what I have to say. I asked you to do it. It wasn't done, so obviously you don't listen to me, right? Like your brain is like creating this whole narrative around that the task wasn't done, right? So another example that she provided was like if your partner's late to meet you somewhere. So you're texting your partner, where are you? Like, we were supposed to meet at this time, and you're frustrated, right? So again, you're not really upset that your partner's late. It's your brain creating this narrative of like, they're careless, they don't care about me, they probably forgot that we even planned this. Something's more important than what's going on right now, that they didn't care enough to be on time, right?
Slick like, kind of talked about that with Jamie, like towards the end.
What did we say? Talking
about the accusations that when we come up with.
That we come up with these things.
With the friend.
And so it's funny because we made like a funny reel out of it, how like women turn into like making these whole stories. But like, you have to really think it's not for fun. We don't want to feel that way, right? Like, it's funny and we can laugh about it and stuff, but like, you don't want to feel triggered like that. And you want to get to the root of like, why am I feeling like this? Because is it actually that my partner's late? Is it actually that my partner has a friend that's prettier than me? Or is it all this it's that narrative that we're creating, like, oh, he's probably cheating on me, why does he have to be friends with somebody that's prettier than me, he must look at her this way, right? Like, our brain is creating all of this stuff behind the scenes, and it has nothing to do with the actual like matter of the fact at hand. So she kind of goes into or if you want to talk about like why our brain kind of comes
because
up with that stuff.
It's like a comfort thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like watching Real Housewives of Atlanta or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's trash TV. You know it's bad, but it's comforting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it comforts you. That's pretty much like what your brain does, because one thing she said was your brain's job isn't to make you happy, it's to make you feel safe.
Yeah.
And I was like, bruh, that is deep.
And she like,
that's real deep.
To kind of connect the two, like, so she said that your brain's job was to keep you safe. So she was saying why it retracts to like negative thinking is because anything that's like uncertain or like the unknown is like a threat to your brain, because your brain is like logic, right? Like, we have a creative side, yes, but your brain is like the thinking.
It operates off things that only make sense.
Yes, exactly. Like, it's only like what you can see, and like your brain is just going off of like, what is here? What are the facts? What can I put together right now?
Right.
So things that your brain does not know, things that are uncertain, the unknown, is a threat to your brain because it's not something that it knows. Does that make sense? Like, it's not something it could piece together. So the safest way for your brain to make you feel comfortable is to go to a negative narrative to make sense of what's going on. You know what I mean? So like, for the dishes example, like your brain's not going to create a positive scenario for that. You walk in, your partner's on the couch and the dishes are in the sink, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, my partner must be like really having a great time relaxing.
I know
right
he
now.
loves me because he left a lot of dishes in the sink for me to wash.
Right, exactly. Literally. So like your brain's not gonna do that. It's gonna go to the most negative scenario, probably the most extreme, because that is the safest thing for your brain to make sense of the events that are taking place. So I really liked that she had said that like your brain's job isn't meant to like make you happy. I think that's why people say like, oh, try like think with your brain, not your heart or something like that, because your heart is like where the feelings are, right? That's where the mush is and stuff like that. Your brain doesn't have time for that shit, for real. Like your brain is just trying to make sense of like what is going on, what are the facts, what is logical, what can I make sense of what's going on here. So it ain't trying to make you happy. So it's gonna go ahead and retreat to that like comfortable spot of gunning towards the negative of the scenario. So I thought that was an interesting take. I think that's something to think about too. A lot of the times it's really not the scenario. Like it's not the event that's taking place. I think
it's usually a bunch of things that build up.
It's things that build up, and a lot of it is in your head, like narratives and stories that are taking place in your head.
Like, can we normalize that, bro? People really be tripping. Like, we really be tripping for real. Like, we really be tripping for real. Like, come on.
I mean, okay, so where are these triggers pulling from? Because you're not tripping all the time. Like, you're not just making up, because this is what I was saying before. You don't want to feel that way.
Yeah,
like,
no.
You're not purposely doing that. You're pulling from past experiences, and like there's things that make you feel like that, right? So she kind of went into how it's kind of based off of like past experiences, childhood experiences and stuff like that, but things that happen to you as a child create like core beliefs in you, right?
Things that you just kind of stick with you. You know, things that happened when you were a kid or whatever. Like, from that moment on, like, you're going to remember that one experience that one way.
And it's going to stick with you. Like, so you're pulling from things like that. So your brain is using core beliefs as like a defense mechanism. Like, that is what is making these narratives come up. So one that, I like to think about is like when I was younger, my mom was very much like, I don't want to say trained me up, but like when it came to like dating and like when I was turning a teenager and I'm starting to talk to boys and stuff like that, like it was very much like to have this independent, I don't need you mindset. And like that's just kind of what I went into talking and dating with. Like that's the kind of mindset I went in with, and like that can cause problems, but that was a core belief for me, was like, okay, this is what I was told growing up, is like, you have your own, you don't need anything, like, you know what I mean? And like that stuck with me. So when there's arguments or there's things going on, or if I feel like inferior in a sense in a scenario, like I'm triggered, right? It's not because of the situation that's going on. It's that core belief that I've learned from young that like, don't let anybody walk all over you. You're a strong, independent woman, like da. So like, these are core beliefs that I've learned from young that I'm pulling from, that now like something is triggering that. And like, that's what's coming out. Not because you like tried to pay something for me or whatever. Like, it's just things that I've learned from a kid that like are pulling out those triggers. So it's not always the scenario. I think that's what we're pretty much saying with all of this. Like, it's not the scenario. It's like, it's the triggers. But she kind of walks through like how to work through triggers, which I think is the most useful part out of all this, because it's like, okay, we've unpacked that, like, it's not the actual scenario. Sometimes, yes, you just want the freaking dishes done. But, like, what is the core meaning of why you're upset? You know what I mean? It's not the dishes. It's you're triggered by something, right? Maybe somebody made you feel like you were unheard in your household as a kid. Maybe somebody always expected you to do the household work as a kid. So now you're being triggered by that in your current relationship. And it's not just the actual act, right? So we've unpacked that. How do you actually work through a trigger, though? Like, how can
we spoke about that before, too, though.
What?
About, like, not necessarily facing triggers, but things that I guess cause you to feel a certain way, like just addressing them, head on.
Yeah.
Like, find out the root of whatever it is that's calling you the distress and talk it out, hug it out, cry it out, whatever you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sort it out.
So, she kind of talks through, like, if you're in this scenario or one of the scenarios that we just brought up, like, how do you work through that? So I just wanted to kind of read through a couple of these because they're really good. So if you're in this scenario, you walk in the house or whatever, partner's on the couch, dishes are in the sink. She says the first thing to do is notice the brain's narrative. So just notice. Don't try and stop the thought or don't try and distract it by thinking other things. Like, just notice how your brain is, like, coming up with a story right now.
Like catching yourself in the act.
Catch yourself in the act. And I think I was listening to another podcast with, like, a therapist on it, but it's the same across the board. Like, even when you're just getting upset about something, like, just notice that your mind can run sometimes. Like, sometimes your brain is just creating, like, a whole thing. Oh, wow. Sorry, y'all. Our camera is doing it again. Doing it again. That sucks, but all right.
We hate that.
Yeah, we'll keep going because we're wrapping it up. But, yeah, so just kind of notice how you're doing it. I know sometimes, like, with girls, this is a thing. Like, when our man doesn't text us back within a certain amount of time, like, the first thing is, like, where's he at? What he's doing? He's doing something more important. Is he cheating on me? Is he doing this? Like, immediately your brain starts
whole time he had Bible study. Tripping.
Chill out, because you know that ain't the truth. But anyways, yes. So if you're in a scenario, catch yourself, right? Just notice that your brain is creating a narrative, creating a story. And then point it out, like, name it as a story. Like, my brain is protecting me by creating a story right now. So just be very mindful of, like, where your headspace is at and what it's doing, right? Almost like being hyper aware of your thoughts and being hyper aware of what your brain is doing. And then, kind of like what you were saying, like, just gather your thoughts, take a deep breath, like, really try and, like, center yourself back. Now, I know, like, if you're, like, let's be realistic. If you walked in the door and your partner's on the couch and the dishes are in the sink, you're not going to stop at the door and be like, I'm creating a narrative. My brain is trying to protect me. Like, no,
Yeah,
you're going to come in, you're going to slam the door, you're going to throw your bag down, you're probably going to say something snarky to your partner.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the dishes are still here.
Yep. Oh, look, just how I left it. Like, like, let's be real. But what it can look like in a realistic sense is maybe not saying anything or not having an attitude right off the rip, right? So come in and close the door. Don't throw your bag. Don't do anything crazy. Like, maybe go walk to the kitchen while you're doing this. This is time that you could be like, all right, I'm coming up with things in my head. Like, I'm creating a whole thing as to why the dishes aren't done. Let me relax. Take a deep breath. Like, this is all within maybe like 30 seconds of walking in the door. Like, you can do this with yourself. So then say this out loud. I don't know. To break the pattern of creating narratives, we have to acknowledge the truth. Like, you don't know. You don't know why exactly the dishes aren't done, right?
Right.
Because maybe you asked for them and there is a reason why your partner is on the couch, right? And the dishes aren't done.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times it's not just, oh, I didn't feel like it. Or maybe it's, hey, I was really tired. I'm going to get to them, just not right now, right? Like there is an explanation for everything, truly. So like you have to be realistic with yourself and be like, you know what? I really don't know why this is occurring right now. And my brain needs to chill because my brain is trying to explain it to me when I don't know the facts. Like I haven't even talked to my partner as to why the dishes aren't done yet, right? So say that to yourself, like, yep, I don't know. I don't know why this isn't done, but let me find out. Like, let's have a conversation about it. Let's talk. Like, no attitude, no nothing. Like, there's no reason for all of that. But yeah, that was just
it can all be so simple, guys.
It really could. And like the hard thing is like these things I know are easier said than done. Yeah. Everything is easier said than done. That's why I was just saying, like, let's be realistic. You're not going to do all this mindful stuff walking through the door right away, right?
Not
like
immediately.
Especially like if you haven't been working on these tactics and techniques and stuff like that, that's not going to be an immediate thought for you to do, is like try and practice mindfulness when you walk through the door. But I hope you take something from this, even if it's just recognizing that your brain's creating a narrative. Maybe you're still going to have an attitude. Maybe you're working on your attitude. Maybe you're still going to say something snarky, okay? Like, baby
just can't
steps.
help yourself.
Just can't help yourself. You got to slip something in there. You got to throw a little dagger in there. One step at a time. Like, you don't have to do this all at once. But, like, take something away from that. Because a lot of these things can solve arguments. Like, it can avoid arguments. So, yeah. That's really it. Nothing really crazy tonight.
Just want to spring some knowledge on you guys.
Yeah, I saw the thread and I was like, you know what? I really want to break this down because I think it's something that we don't really think of. I think a lot of the times we want to pin stuff on our partner and be like, oh, you didn't do this because of this, or oh, you're acting like this because of this.
This was a more thoughtful topic.
Yeah, more like let's be mindful of what's going on. Like, so, yeah, your brain's trying to keep you safe. Thank you, brain. But a lot of the times that means creating some negative narratives that aren't needed for the situation at hand. So recognize that it's doing that. Take a deep breath. Notice that you really don't know why what's happening is happening, and try and get to the facts, because truly that's all your brain wants.
Yeah, so stop tripping.
Stop tripping. That's what we're going to call the episode.
Stop tripping.
That's a good one. Stop tripping. I like it.
I'm with it.
I can see that on a sweatshirt. Hint, 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 hint.
I'm dead. Alrighty. Anything you want to add to the topic before we hop into the hookup?
Stop tripping.
Chill.
No, I'm joking.
Alrighty. Let's hop into the hookup.
I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me.
What's up, snackers? It's your boy. And I'll be hooking you up. I'm going to put y'all on a pizza spot we got out here. It's called Benny's. Benny Pennellos.
Benny Pennellos.
One of the best pizza spots in Charlotte. It's located in the Noda area, North Davidson. The address is 2909 North Davidson Street, Suite 100, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28205. That's Benny Pennellos. Like the pizzas are, man,
from like
this big, and you're gonna feel like you get a slice for what, like $6.50?
Yeah, $6.50. You can they have like plain pepperoni,
cheese,
or like plain
little
cheese,
specialties
pepperoni.
and stuff.
Yeah, they do like a veggie of the month, which is really cool. They do this like what is it?
I had the garlic mushroom last time we were there.
Oh, garlic mushroom.
That was.
They had last time we went. They had a wild one. It was like mac and cheese and bacon and something on a pizza.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
I don't know if y'all saw that, but
A moth
is flying around. Yeah, it's really good. I
Benny Pennellos is
like if you just want like a good thin crust, greasy, large pizza, like that is
the pizza
the spot.
size is your freaking back.
Also, tell them about the little ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, and you before you go, like they have like a little freezer right by the door, so when you leave, you can get one of grab a little ice cream sandwich. They have like little ice cream treats in there, and they're like
They are phenomenal.
A1. They're not like the little old ice cream sandwiches, you know, with the dark chocolate cookie and then the, you know, vanilla ice cream. No, these are like, I think one of them was like a chocolate chip cookie with ice cream, and it was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
tastes really good. You can follow them on Instagram, Benny Pennellos, BENNYPENNELLOS. Again.
Oh my god.
Benny Pennellos, BENNYPENNELLOS. Benny Pennellos in Noda.
Bet. Make sure you go get you some pizza. Let's close it down. All right, snackers. We have come to the end.
To the end.
Thank you for sticking with us, especially through our
Um,
video issues.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that camera lame as hell. I ain't gonna
No,
lie.
this time it was our fault. 100%. Last week,
Oh, we didn't charge it.
yeah.
That's really why.
We
So,
were working on the life of like a half battery, hoping it would pull through the episode, and that was a big no. So that's on us. Apologies. Last week, though, I don't know
Unexpected.
what that was because it
Unexpected.
kept going off, and we had enough battery. But this week was on us. We'll get it charged for y'all next time.
We'll be
and
on
be
top
up
of
and
it.
running. Yeah, we got y'all next week. But
Continue to like, share, comment, subscribe.
yes, if you are on
All
YouTube,
that.
please like, comment, and subscribe. What was I just lost it. Oh,
The shorts.
the shorts.
You're gonna start doing shorts.
Yes, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Our good friend Kenya had a really good idea for us, and I think we're going to start doing it. We're going to go ahead and start putting the Unpack the Snack episode. Unpack the Snack questions before we do the episode, so y'all can like give feedback as well,
Right.
and we'll go over some of your comments on the episode just to kind of like almost have a group dialogue. So we'll start to do that so y'all can give some input on the Unpack the Snack, so that should be really fun. Also, if you are interested in seeing some of the wedding planning things, let us know in the comments. Do
Yeah.
y'all want to see
We'll
some
put that in Patreon. Exclusive content.
exclusive content? If y'all want to see some wedding planning things, if y'all want to see some vloggy vlogs of the wedding venue tours and things like that, and just wedding prep stuff, bachelorette, bachelor
Yeah.
stuff, yeah, let us know. But yes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you are not subscribed to the channel,
Do that.
do that
ASAP.
right now. We've gotten a few more subscribers from the last video, so y'all are listening and y'all are on top of it. So tell a friend.
What's the
Make
goal? I think
sure.
we're trying to get to 100.
We're trying to get to 100 right now, and we're at like 82 or 83 or something like that. So we are slowly trucking along.
Help us out. Help us out.
Help us out. Tell a friend. I think I said this on the last episode or the one before or something. If you have a Google account, then you have access to YouTube.
This is
so,
true.
if you have a Google account, which 95% of Americans do, log on to it and subscribe to our YouTube. But yes, if you are listening via podcast per usual, if you're on Spotify, go ahead and click the follow button so you can stay tapped in with our episodes. If you are on Apple Podcasts, it is the plus button in the top right to subscribe.
Yep.
So make sure you're tuned in with us. Make sure you're following the page at lnsthepodcast, our Instagram page. We've been posting our reels to TikTok as well. So if you're more of a TikTok kind of person,
The TikTok been going crazy lately.
it really has. So tap in there at LNS the podcast as well. So yeah, man, just stick with us. We have a lot of good stuff going on. We have events. We have our wedding coming up. Like we have our puppy coming. Like
yeah, bro. So it's about to get lit.
Yeah, we got a lot of exciting things coming, and we just want to share them with y'all, and we want y'all to be a part of it. So stay tapped in with us. We love y'all, and we will catch y'all next Wednesday.
All right, fams.
Bye.